Hello YouTube, Tim here. Right now I've got the makings of another Ottoman Turkish bow. I've already formed the caisson and shaped all of the parts except for a little bit of sanding. So this is going to be interesting because once I weigh everything here, we'll be able to see what it weighs before and then after shaping. So we can say exactly how much glue we're using, for example, or how much material we've removed in each section. Right now, let's just weigh the core. The core was a 40-inch long piece of PVC. After flattening, it became 39 inches. I hope you can see that. It's 325 grams. Maybe it's a little hard to see. 325 grams. These are the two parts which we'll layer to become the handle. I'm becoming a little bit more conservative and making them smaller just to build up the top and a little bit of bulk around the side. Just a little bit, not so bulky as the older ones. And then generous amounts of hot glue. So, what do we say? 325. With it, 339. There we go. So, what, 14 grams? Oh boy. Okay. Excellent. 14, maybe on the high end of 14 grams. These two siyahs, I decided not to finish or burnish anything below the transition from the caisson to the bash, since that's going to be, after all, inside. Nobody's going to see it. 26 grams, 25 grams. Pretty darn good. And let's see, I have marked on the back 1 and 2 with corresponding marks on this side, so I know exactly which one went where. Those are all the components right now. I mean, at this stage, this is ready. All I'm going to do now is trim. I made marks on either side and also marks down to 1.5 inches. I'm going to saw that off, and so forth. Then I'm going to glue that in. I'm going to grind and sand the edges down to make it nice and smooth. And then the same with these. I'm going to grind them down, glue them together, and glue them here. And we'll see what the final weight is. Then I can weigh the adhesive and the leather that I'll be putting on it, and we'll be able to, again, just assess how much is essentially inert, because the leather is not going to add any performance to the bow. But I look forward to doing that. I look forward to showing you guys more and forward to showing you the finished bow. Just so you know, like we said, it was 40 inches, then 39 when flattened. The tip to tip was 44.5 inches, and the knock to knock was 42.5. These I really made sure, see if it's matched, to try and get them in all the way right as close to the transition as I could. Frequently I had been letting it stick out maybe another 1/4 inch more. And that's not bad. Not bad at all. But that's what I had been doing. So really what I'm finding out is that these bows are shorter than I thought they were. That's totally fine. But I'm going to try making a few that are a little bit longer. Maybe start with 42 to 44 inch long pipes and just see what happens. It'll be fun to experiment. And I am looking forward to seeing the results. Maybe we can even try doing something like this with Schedule 80 PVC. Wouldn't that be something? Thanks for watching, YouTube. Okay, a quick update now. I've applied glue over most lightly. One siyah is 27 grams now. The other siyah is 26 grams. Okay, there you go. I might apply a little bit more, especially around the edges, but that's probably pretty good. Hello YouTube, Tim here. I've got another bow that I'd like to show you. I will be drawing it, or at least attempting to. I'm a little nervous about that, but we'll get to that. This is a little different than my usual Turkish style bows, Ottoman Turkish style bows. The main difference being I didn't induce deflex. So take a look at that. The tiller is pretty darn good. Can probably be corrected just a little bit with just a little nudging. But let me show you the bow unstrung. Almost exactly what you'd see with the fiberglass bows. It's taking a little bit of set, and that's just from It's just from stringing it. I haven't drawn it yet because I'm a little nervous that the thing is going to explode on me. A bow this short with 4 inches plus of reflex, that could really spell problems for me. But if it works, the bow will be extremely high performance, will store a huge amount of energy. There's a lot to like. The brace height is fairly high, about 6 3/4 to 7 inches. Perfect. As far as traditional bows go, this is fantastic. It really looks great. Looks a lot like the Gelon bow, in fact. Also, due to the lack of deflex, the initial draw weight's very high. My main concern, it's going to shatter around the siyahs, the ends. I don't know that. Or I suppose it could shatter near the handle here where it becomes round. I haven't flattened the handle. I'm going to be clipping, or rather just gluing some additions on to bulk up the handle to make the nice kabza. Let's give it a little test and see if we can draw it, and we'll find out draw weights in the meanwhile. Okay, so this is actually showing 7.5 inches, if this is to be believed, from the back, from the belly of the bow, the back side of the bow. Okay, it's centered and centered. Starting to draw. First to 20 inches. £32 at 20 inches. Is anybody else pretty convinced this is going to be a heavy bow? 20 inches, 32 pounds. Nice. Let's do it again. 31 pounds, 11 ounces. Well, so far so good. All right, let's do a few inches more. Let's work our way up. So far so good. 22, 34 pounds. Looks like we're gaining 1.5 pounds, almost 2 pounds an inch. This is pretty respectable. Just for fun. It's already 9 pounds just at 2 or 3 inches. I have known some bows to be 9 pounds at full draw that I make for children, so this is not a flimsy bow by any means. 23 inches. 36 pounds, 11 ounces. And if you haven't watched one of these videos before, the reason I'm drawing it repeatedly and slowly is to flex the bow, allow it to take a little set if it needs to, and allow it to become accustomed to being drawn. If I draw it instantly all the way to 20, 28, 29, 30 inches, it's probably going to fail. Let's not tempt fate. Let's just go ahead and be generous and give it a little bit of time. So, 24 inches. £38. Everything looks good. I'm not hearing any cracking, popping, no odd noises. 25 inches. £40. Oh man. I know I say it every time I do this, but this is nerve-wracking. Just make sure we have a light. And let's continue. 26 inches. Just what I thought. Right at the siyah. Exciting, disappointing, and frankly, I'm wondering where exactly the other part of it went, but that will be my adventure for the next few minutes, is hunting down the pieces of the bow. It's quite a shame. Let's think about this now. So why did that happen? Too much stress. Were there ways to prevent this? Yes, definitely. Where did it fail? right there. It actually looked like the siyah itself failed, which again is pretty remarkable. It was being supported both with glue as well as the PVC. It was failing at a weight of something like 45 pounds, not nearly full draw. Now, this is the most highly stressed bow that I've ever made of this style. I'm really, really disappointed that it didn't work, and I'm even more disappointed that the siyah, at least the siyah, didn't survive. I will make another one and I'll continue, but you live and you learn. So, lesson being, deflexes are not necessarily good for performance, but they're sometimes essential. You need them just to take a little bit of the stress off this style of bow. People say, make a U-shaped bow, let's increase the reflex. You can do it, but unless you're doing something unusual, unless you're using, and admittedly, this type of failure doesn't necessarily mean that the general project was doomed. This could have just been the wood failing. Still, I strongly believe that in general you're going to get better results by using a stiffer bow, even if it's completely straight or deflex slightly, as long as it's very rigid. That's my theory. Let's put that to the test, and thanks for watching.